Hey, what's up you guys? It is your local problematic Leo. Welcome back to another episode of My Life is Continuously Falling Apart. So please do pardon me if I look a little bit rough this morning. It's like 7 a.m. and this is the only time that I could fit in to record. But Colors Heal did go ahead and send through another collection for me, and it's an extension of one of my absolute favorite series, is the Halo and the Iris. They're adding in two new colors that I think are absolutely beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look. And as channel tradition dictates, it is time for a little bit of nudity. So I'm gonna show you my bare ass naked brown eyes while I go ahead and read you the stats. The base curve of these is 8.6 millimeters, the diameter is 14.2 millimeters, and they're available in prescription at no additional cost. Now, if I manage to get my life together, this video should be coming out the same day as launch, which is April 14th, which totally stresses me out because the 15th is tax day, and no, I have yet to do mine. But these contact lenses will cost you $15 a pair. However, from the 14th through the 28th, if I'm doing my calendaring right, it's like 2 weeks from launch. Listen, we're in a pandemic, time is an illusion these days. But they will only run you $13.50 a pair, and I believe you can use my code ROB10 to get an additional 10% off of that. Also, if you enjoy the content that you see here, make sure you bookmark the affiliate link that you can find down in the description box below. Every little bit helps. Okay, so before we take a look at each of the individual colors, let's have a quick chat about construction. Now, first and foremost, these are Asian market lenses, which means that they do have a slightly larger pupil hole. Listen, you know, the part that's in the center of your eyes, I don't know if that's the right biological or anatomical term, but that's that section right there is slightly larger. I'm really not sure why they do it that way. I've always liked a very tight pupil hole, but listen, doesn't matter anyway, because we're talking about the Halo and the Iris series, which are super duper natural in the eye and have a beautiful blend. Plus, the colors Pear and Cocoa? Listen, there's an A at the end, so that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. I don't know, letters, it's just there. We're gonna keep moving and grooving. But these two shades are very, very natural, and then combined with my two favorite patterns. Listen, y'all know I love an unclockable lens, and both the Halo and the Iris series are absolutely beautiful for it. Now, they have those signature striations and they're kind of layered. So you have the main layer, which has a stronger color. Then they have this like under layer, which blends beautifully and softly with your own natural color. Unless your color is blue, I'm talking from like a brown-eyed perspective. Listen, if you have blue eyes, let me know how these work on you, because I just, science, colors, don't understand. But the big difference between these two is that the Halo series has a bit of a limbal ring on the outside, and the Iris doesn't. It just has the normal striations, and then the striations actually blend in really nicely with your own limbal ring. Here's the thing. If you have slightly smaller eyes like I do, I don't feel like my eyes are the smallest, but I feel like they're like medium to small instead of like medium to large or just medium. But if you have just medium eyes, which I'm not sure, I haven't measured your eyes, but you know, I'm sure you could figure it out yourself. The irises do tend to appear a little bit brighter because they don't have the anchoring of the dark limbal ring that the Halo does. Now, me personally, I like the Halo series because of the fact that, especially if you've been watching my channel for a while, y'all know I have one wonky eye, and that wonky eye is just slightly smaller. It's like a medium, small, extra small, you know what I'm saying? It's like just a tiny bit. You can see the difference when I'm staring at my eyes all day. But that actual limbal ring that's added in basically makes my eyes the same size. And it's a little bit of like a corrective lens in that way, so I really like that. Plus, I do feel like a limbal ring anchors the color into your eye a little bit better. But I will say that with this series, because they're so natural, you might want to opt for the irises because they pop just a little bit more. Listen, I'm gonna cut it off here because it was supposed to be a quick chat. It's not a quick chat anymore. Let's go take a look at the colors. I do not know how girls with long hair do it. Listen, I'm gonna need a hairband or a haircut. Something needs to happen because it's driving me absolutely nuts. However, we are kicking things off with a little bit of Halo Cocoa. And what I actually plan to do is show you the Halo version, then jump into the Iris version, and we'll do a little bit of comparison from then on. But one thing that I did want to say about these ones is, while I love them, they are very, very natural. The close-ups and kind of like the far-aways are going to be a little bit different because I actually went ahead and road tested these at work. Now, I think my basic description of these is gonna be like a deeper beige brown. When you take a look at it up close and personal, especially when you get a lot of light into them, they actually turn this like brown gray that I really, really like. The only way that I can describe them is kind of like a dirty concrete. And I know that that's not necessarily the best phrasing for it, but you guys know that I love a really good gray, and I also really like natural colors. So I always wanted this beautiful gray brown, and I think that this achieves it. However, it's weird because like I said, I tried these on and I took them into my work day. The less sun or the less light that comes in and hits these contact lenses, the more brown they become. But then when you get more light into them, they actually become a little bit lighter and that kind of like beigey brown, dirty concrete gray, which I kind of really, really love. However, what I'm gonna say is, I feel like because of the fact that these are a little bit more on the natural end of the spectrum, I don't know if you're gonna get as much pop out of them as you want. If you want a little like additional bump of beigey brown gray color when the light hits your eyes, I think that these are gonna be absolutely fantastic for you. Now for the follow-up, we have the Iris Cocoa, and like I was saying in the construction portion, I do like these ones a little bit better because of the fact that the Cocoas are so natural and they have that deeper limbal ring in the Halo version that kind of like makes it a little bit darker. But because the irises don't have that, they're able to kind of like pop a little bit on your own natural eye color. However, as you can see in the close-ups, because of the fact that I have like that one damn wonky eye that just has to ruin everything for me, you can actually see a couple of the striations kind of leak over my own natural limbal ring. Now, nobody is gonna be that close to you that's gonna be like checking out what's going on with your contact lenses, and if they are, listen, I'm sure they're probably focusing on something else, if you know what I mean. But I actually do like these ones a little bit better because you get more of that lightening property, you get more of like that kind of like shade shift pop that I was saying a little bit earlier. So even though construction-wise, these aren't absolutely perfect for my wonky eye, they're good for my other eye. My other eye is just fine and dandy. I actually am leaning on the side of the irises. And I figured you guys would probably want a comparison, so I went ahead and filmed a side-by-side of the Halo Cocoa as well as the Iris. As you can see, the Halo has that nice anchoring, while the Iris has a little bit more brightness. Moving along, we have Halo Pear. Now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, when I first saw this in the blister, I was super duper excited because it's kind of like this yellowy greeny tone, and I was like crossing my fingers that it was gonna be like the olivey version of Halo Khaki, which, as many of you guys know, is my hands down like favorite. I want to say it's in the top 3 favorites of all color CL lenses. I absolutely love that one. So I'm like, ooh, maybe this is the olive cousin. Kinda, sorta, not quite. It's like more along the lines of like a hazily tone when I actually meld it into my own natural eye color, which I think is very, very pretty because it does some nice brightening. It kind of swings it towards that hazel vibe, but not all the way towards like an olive greeny vibe. So that's kind of where this color lives. And of course, because of the fact that this does have that limbal ring, it does deepen it up a little bit, richen it up, and make it nice and natural. I did go ahead and take this for a little bit of a test drive at work, and I think that they're really, really beautiful, but not quite the olive green I was looking for. But before we move on, because I know a lot of people are going to be curious, here are the Halo Pear versus the Halo Khaki. Now, in my own personal opinion, I kind of like the Khaki a little bit more because it does give a little bit more of a green oomph rather than the hazel vibe. But listen, I'm not here to make up your mind for you, so that's up to you to decide. And last but not least, we have the Iris Pear. Now, like I was saying about the Cocoa series, when the sun hit those, they did kind of turn into this dirty concrete brownie beige that I really, really liked. Well, interestingly enough, when the Pear series loses the limbal ring from the Halo version and just goes full iris, it actually brightens it up a little bit more and it shines a little bit brighter. So it kind of leans more into the honey side instead of the hazel side, because, you know, there are slight variations that we're talking about here, but I gotta be nitpicky, but Honey Hazel would have been a great name for this specific series because I think that's exactly what they're doing in my eyes. And so for me personally, like I was saying with the Cocoas, I like the Iris version better because it's brighter and you can see more of the color. The same thing goes for the Pear, just because you get a little bit more of that leaning into the brightness. But again, if you want more hazel, but just by a little bit, go with the Halo series. If you want a little bit more honey, then go with the Iris. Alrighty, and that about wraps it up for my feelings on this particular line extension. As you guys can see, both of these shades are absolutely beautiful, and the differences between the Halo version and the Iris version are really not insanely dramatic, but you know, they're there if you're gonna nitpick. Me personally, I did like the way that the irises came out on these ones, just because of the fact that they are a bit brighter than the Halo versions. However, it really is gonna depend on the day, because I'm like, yo, how are my eyes looking today? Do I feel wonky? Do I want to balance them out? So, you know, each of these contact lenses does serve its own purpose. If I was gonna pick between the two shades though, I do like me a little bit of that honey hazel action, so I'd probably pick up the Pear, but I am gonna point this out. If you have not checked out the Halo Khakis, listen, y'all saw it in the close-up. I don't have to say anything else. Listen, if you're gonna walk away with anything from this video, understand my love for those Halo Khakis. So I'm just putting that out there into the universe. Maybe get the Pear and the Khaki. Maybe get the Cocoa and the Khaki. And that was my memory card cutting me off, because you know this is an absolute shit show. So don't forget to go ahead and use code ROB10 to get 10% off of your order. And if you like me enough, make sure you go bookmark my affiliate link down in the description box below. That's where it'll be. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.